The only sign that Jesus gave of him being the Messiah was that he would be in the grave 3 days and 3 nights. But can this be proven from Scripture and plotted on a timeline? One of the biggest problems when it comes to proving this one sign is that most of us have difficulty calculating 3 days and 3 nights from Friday evening to Sunday morning. One question is, did he actually mean 3 full days, or was he referring to parts of days and parts of nights? The Greek phrase 3 days and 3 nights in the New Testament can actually mean parts of 3 days and 3 nights. But even if we use this logic, there's still not a third night period between Friday evening and Sunday morning, and we're still left with a confusing scenario that can't be plotted on a timeline. But actually, it is possible to prove the chronology of the 3 days and 3 nights from Scripture and to plot it on a timeline, proving the one incredible sign of his messiahship. When the Jewish leaders asked for a sign of his messiahship, he told them no sign will be given except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The Old Testament Hebrew phrase he referred to literally means 3 full days and 3 full nights, or 72 hours. He also said in John 2 verse 19, he would be raised from the grave in 3 days. Mark 8:31 records after 3 days, and Luke 24:46 says he would rise from the dead the 3rd day. So assuming it was a full 72 hours, let's construct a timeline using the eyewitness events recorded in the Gospels. To start, we need to consider the fact that the Jews and the disciples of Jesus did not keep the Christian holidays we think of today. Rather, they celebrated the Passover and a festival called the Days of Unleavened Bread, cited in Luke 22, verses 1 and 7. Leviticus 23, 5-7 explains that the day immediately following the Passover was actually a high day, or annual Sabbath, which was different from the weekly Sabbath they observed on Saturdays. These observances began at sunset and ended at sunset the next day. So when Jesus died in 31 AD, the Passover began on a Tuesday evening, while the high day Sabbath, mentioned in John 19 verse 31, started on a Wednesday evening at sundown and ended at sunset Thursday, which means that the Friday that year actually fell between 2 Sabbaths, an annual Sabbath on Thursday and the weekly Sabbath on Saturday. Now let's look at the details and fill in the timeline. Jesus celebrated the Passover with his disciples in Luke 22, 13-15, which happened right